Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spiritual Relationship Podcast. My name is Ken Hanneman, and this is my wife, Dr. Anne O'Hare. And today we have, I think it's a very interesting topic, finding fulfillment in relationships. I'm sure you've heard this saying that we came alone, we come into the home, to this world alone, and we leave alone. But when we come in, we are coming into a family and we are in relationship. So what's the purpose? People also have the question, what's the purpose of life? In spirituality, and I think everyone would agree with this, that it is, we want to be happy. We want to enjoy relationship. We want to be able to grow. And we have this innate desire for creativity and newness and fun. So relationship is the way, it is the feel, it is the only place actually that you can able to fully express yourself and you can learn and you can share and cooperate. And what comes out at the end of it, because eventually we all will end up separating, it is the gift we give to each other that stays with us. This is the way we made each other feel, So that's the gift, right? That we give. So today, well, I want to ask Anne, what is her, how do you see fulfillment in relationship?
Okay, so we were talking about this a little before we started, but I'll answer the question first. I think that at least nowadays, the thing is, I want a relationship, like even as just a regular person, right? You're like,
Mhm.
I want to have a relationship. I want a serious relationship. I want a long-term relationship. I want a exclusive relationship. But what
Yeah.
does that mean, right? So today, we had the idea that we would share from our hearts
Mm.
today. And we have I feel we're very fortunate, the relationship that we share. And we're going to take this opportunity to share, each of us. I don't know what we're going to say. Probably not so much new. We tell each other all the
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
but we don't know what we're really going to say. But I'm going to share what I'm getting out of this relationship, what it means to me. You're going to share what you're getting out of it. And then we're also going to share about our relationship with God, with the Supreme Soul, with the higher power. And the reason for that, and I'm saying this right now, I know all relationships have a role. All relationships are important, even our relationship to the world, our relationship to service, our relationship to our children, our relationship, like they're all important. But I feel that the relationship of a marriage and the relationship with God both have a very unique and powerful potential. A marriage, in the way I see it, is a chance for you to kind of join with another person in a sense that nothing is hidden from you. You have nothing hidden from me. And in that, there's a complete openness and a complete willingness
Yes.
to share and be together
And
and,
trust
and
and be
trust.
open and transparent with each other.
Yes. And to be like that with another human being. I think maybe a friend is the only other relationship that could be like that. But I would say a good marriage, you're also friends. I
Yes.
mean, we're also friends. So friend is that kind of equal, open situation. But a marriage, you're kind of looking at life together. Like you
Yeah.
share everything together, money, decisions, everything. You're sharing your life together. It's like you're walking hand in hand through life together with this one other person through everything. And the next episode we're going to talk about is about life challenges, which we're
You're
going to
right.
share
And being
about
able to
that
share
next
that
too.
together.
So for me, the thing I'm getting, what's so fulfilling about my relationship with you is I'm going to say that this is the first relationship that I have experienced apart from God
Right.
where I feel like there's unlimited potential and there's also safety. There's a feeling like I can be myself. There's really freedom just to be how I am. There's nothing coming from you that I
Right.
can sense that is in any way triggering something that would hurt me or make me feel bad about myself or make me hold back or make me doubt or anything. There's nothing about you that's doing that. And I don't know if that's just the way I see you or if it's just the greatest fortune or whatever. But that is such a blessing. So what I'm getting out of this relationship, I mean, what can I say? I'm living my life with somebody who I respect, who I admire very much, who I care about deeply, who I feel I respect. Like I said, that we are both on a spiritual path. So that relationship that we both love God so much,
Mm.
that puts the way I see myself and the way I see you like way up here. And
Right.
all the
Yeah.
other stuff that we deal with is in the context of that, actually. So as I'm talking about the relationship, I'm actually going into the God thing now
Yeah.
because our relationship is really based in that God context or that spiritual context. So I couldn't think of a better situation for me. And as we go on in this relationship, it just gets better.
Right.
And we keep growing. We both are growing. Wow, like amazing, right? We both are
Yeah.
growing. So that was what I had to say about that.
I mean, when I never really had a thought that I would get back into a marriage. And I mean, but the moment I met you, there was always that respect and regard for you. And I'm looking back and I'm so happy that the relationship started out with respect and regard. So it was not like it was a physical attraction or people get married because you want to start a family or anything like that. This was more about personality traits. This was more about it was not difficult to surrender to you, to be able to feel I have no guards to keep up. I don't have to be defensive. I don't have to, I mean, it's easy for me to open up and to say, this is who I am. And you never took advantage of that. You've never said anything, like mean and disrespectful or raise your voice and trying to make me feel bad in any way. And I think that's because of the spiritual practice we had. And as we during the years together, we have never stopped trying to take care of each other's spiritual growth. It's as if like your growth is more important than my own. But you had the same thing. So
Yeah.
then it becomes very, what you might call that,
It works.
very responsive and
Yeah.
helpful, complimentary,
Complimentary.
you know? And that is what I find about relationship. You can really grow so fast. You can grow up really fast if you have this attitude towards not to be afraid of each other, not being suspicious and jealous and thinking, I wonder if they're doing this behind my, this kind of a superstition. I mean, um, suspicions
Suspicious.
and all those things. It does not helpful at all. Be willing to be open. If you really love and you really want to grow and be proud of yourself in retrospect later in your life, this is what you have to do.
I just had a thought. I think sometimes people think that spirituality doesn't allow for having a committed relationship. Like you
Yeah.
have to be alone. Okay. I feel that, like, I like what you said about respect, that there's an honoring and a respecting, and that we are together, but we're also independent.
Yeah.
Like we're definitely unique souls, individual, unique souls, powerful souls.
Yeah. Like I would never
Yeah.
see you like you're my wife and you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that.
Yeah.
We both had jobs
Yeah.
and we're both equally
And I would never take advantage and humiliate you and be disrespectful or something like that or take you for granted.
yeah.
I mean, but we were talking in the last episode about emotional maturity. So I guess what I'm saying is that sometimes people think that you can't to be spiritual, you have to go live in a monastery, or to be
Yeah.
spiritual, you have to change your life. We're here to say that you can be in a committed relationship and surrender to a spiritual life.
Yeah.
You can. And that enhances. And now we can talk a little bit about our individual relationship with God. But I just want to say that for me personally, there would be no way I could see that I could have progressed as well or as happily as well as I did without you, without this relationship. There was no way it was happening.
And even though I was on the spiritual path for quite a while, I think God probably figured that I need to learn how to relate with females, or some of the attitudes and the cultural uh, things you learn about marriage, or
About women and how to be
role
in
of women,
relationships.
right?
Yeah.
Those things had to be straightened out. It wasn't right, because you can't think of someone as being subservient, or their only role in life is to take care of you and your feelings and so on. No, to be mature, or to be able not to be afraid to be sensitive to other people, to treat others like they're actually, like, you put them first. They're more important, because what I find is that when you look up in this way, without losing your self-respect, when there is a kind of an equality there in vision, and you take care of each other in that way, the reward that you get is immense. It's amazing. So the before, when you think they're there to serve you, or I am the man of the house, then you don't grow, and you misuse authority a lot of times, or you say things and you think people they have to put up with it. No, the other way around really helped me to be proud of myself, and because I can fully surrender to that relationship, the spirit is free, and you become more able to connect with or understand God, because God loves everyone, and he always calls you children, right? You're my children, meaning what? It's a family.
Can I just say one other thing you just said about the men and women thing? On the women's side, I want to say that to go through your life thinking that other people are more important than you is the opposite. Women, you have to start making yourself the most important thing. That is a big challenge. Just like it must be a big challenge to give up the other ways of thinking if you're a man. For a men, they got to give up that arrogance. For women, you got to give up the dependency and the
Men,
helplessness.
right? A man should know when a woman come into a relationship, they're coming in taught to please and to make
Yes.
sure that to hold the family together and to think. So you as a man have to be able to understand that, and not and use your authority or your
To
power
help her,
to help
not
in
take
to
advantage.
build her self-esteem, and to make her better, and more grown up, or
Independent.
and independent, and actually powerful, because she's been playing a part as a mother, so she would need to feel powerful.
Just one quick example of this, then we can go on to the God relationship. One quick example of this was when I was feeling, as some women, sometimes we get like this overwhelmed kind of a feeling. We had an episode on overwhelm recently. And I was saying, well, I got to do this and I got to do this. And Ken said, this was so great. And maybe this is an example for the men out there. This is so great. He said to me, now we have a 17-year-old son. He's like, well, this weekend, just cook for yourself. Don't cook for me and don't cook for Joey. Don't cook for us. Just cook for yourself. And it was like my synapses were misfiring because my programming was so much in that it's my responsibility to figure out what everybody's eating. It's my responsibility to figure out what's in the fridge. It's my responsibility to figure out what time we're eating and all and there's nothing wrong with that, I'm saying. But what he did, can you see what you did was you short circuited
Yeah.
that conditioning, and you said, we're okay, just take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And it was not easy for me to understand, but I understood because this is where spirituality comes in, really helpful. When you understand that the aim is for everybody to be independent, then I'm not going to take that the wrong way. I knew
Right.
what you were doing.
Yeah.
You were taking away the thing that was making me upset. Obviously, it wasn't really, but you were taking away the stimulus and you were saying, look, take care of yourself
Yeah. I don't feel bad about doing
and
that.
don't feel bad. And he didn't
Yeah.
make me feel bad. So I learned, see, that really helped me because you look how many, you could be in a relationship where the man could take advantage of you so much, take advantage of that,
Yeah.
right? Totally take it. She's going to do it, no problem. How many times have you seen this? Like, if I wait long enough, she'll do it. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, and
Yeah.
we laugh, but it's not even funny
Yeah.
because
It's not.
it's
Right.
not
It's
even
not.
funny
Yeah.
because, especially if the woman's working.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just
Especially. Yeah.
being, this is like real life here we're talking about, especially if the woman's working. You got to be reasonable.
Yeah.
And then on the female side, we have to be reasonable too. You can't have a negative attitude all day long, every day, and expect the relationship to be good.
Right.
Okay? We have to learn how to take care of ourselves emotionally. And if you can't be happy, at least be honest, at least take responsibility for
Yeah.
yourself. Like, maybe I'm not jumping for joy every minute, but at least then be honest. Okay, I'm working on this. Take responsibility. Nobody would be mad about that. They would want to
Oh.
help.
I mean, there are times when you might have something going on, right? And you'll
Mhm.
talk and you want to talk about, and you go on about it, how you
Yeah.
feel, this, that, or whatever. And sometimes all I have to do is just listen and just, the same thing with me, right? If I'm going through something, let's say if I have jealousy or I have something, I would tell you how I feel and I would say, whatever. And you would sort of, understand. It's almost like you're not listening to my words alone. You're seeing what's going on in my heart or something there,
Yes.
and that's what you're speaking to. And then you're making the adjustment, and then suddenly you can just let go. And suddenly, wow, jealousy is a horrible thing. It's very destructive here. I'm not doing that anymore. I want to get out of this here. I want to
Mhm.
enjoy this relationship. And so that's what we could do for each other.
And also, what would it be like as females to really, we say like we want to be taken care of, but what if I take care of myself?
Mm.
What is that like? A lot of us aren't used to that. We don't understand even how to do that. So having a partner, have the man not taking advantage of that conditioning
Yeah.
and saying, you know what, take care of yourself. And he still does it. I'm pretty good now, I would say, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I'm pretty good now. Like if it ever comes up, you're ready to take something away. You're like, I'll do it. Don't
Right,
worry.
exactly.
I'll do it. Whatever. He's there. He's there to come in and jump in and take something away. Because if there's some agitation, there's a little bit of overwhelm, you're coming in to help.
Right.
But I'm not abusing either. Like we talked
Right. Oh,
about
yeah,
this. You
yeah.
can't be
You
abusive
can't be
either
abusive.
way.
Don't do that.
You know?
Right.
So we're getting back into the male female thing, right? Because it's so compelling. So that's, I think, a nice little overview. So let's just briefly, so we finish this off, the relationship, fulfillment of the relationship with God. So there we
Yeah.
go. Now we're at another level
Yeah.
now.
One thing I keep saying, I really like God as my friend.
Hmm.
I really don't think he's there to judge me. And I don't think he doesn't punish anyone. And I really learned that to be free and open with him, you can have your own internal conversations with him.
Hmm.
But most of all, in any action that I do, I sort of feel like I'm with him in that way. And what I'm trying to get at here is that I'm not afraid of God. Because I know he's, and I found with him, and for the many years that I've been in meditation, remembering, and so on, that there's no need for you to. It's just like a human relationship. You don't want to be walking on eggshells or thinking or be always afraid that, oh, I wonder if this person is taking an account of all the bad things and anything else that I did.
Yeah.
No, I let that go completely.
Mhm.
I want to feel free and easy. And I find he doesn't mind. He actually enjoys that kind of relationship. He says, come anytime you want. Think of me. When he says come, meaning inside, you just think and you feel. And you feel like you're getting some guidance and help. And at the same time, you're open. And then at the same time, you're trying to use your time and your abilities and skills in a way that is helpful to others or nature or your
That's
body
like a
or whatever.
spiritual life, like living a
Yeah.
spiritual life, right? For me, I feel maybe it's a little bit different. For me, I feel that what God gave me, first of all, is knowledge. I was confused about who I am, confused about why relationships didn't work, confused about why I can't seem to make myself better, confused about all kinds of things. So the first thing that happened when I got the knowledge was that I started understanding. When I'm saying knowledge, relationship with God, it means that I'm getting the knowledge from God. So I'm getting the knowledge, I'm getting spiritual understanding, and the confusion is ending. So one of the things about my relationship with God is immense gratitude for that. Immense gratitude. There was nothing or no one that could have given me that kind of stability that he gave. Nothing. If it
Yeah.
was possible, it would have happened with all the effort I made before. It would have been there. There was nothing. So nothing but God could have given that kind of stability in my intellect, in my heart. And I'd be so grateful and so loyal to that being
Yeah.
because of that. The other thing about God is that I admire God. When we learn about who God is and we have experiences, God is egoless. And I admire that so much. I admire that God comes onto the scene. He gives knowledge. He, transforms the world. And then he goes and everybody forgets him because it's like, think about, even just if you don't want to think about it in big terms, you can think about it yourself. When you're happy and everything's going great, you're not remembering God. It's
Yeah.
when we're full of sorrow and we got problems that we start remembering God, right?
Right.
So God doesn't need to be in my head my whole life. He comes when I need him and I'm remembering him. And so I admire that he only gets involved when needed.
Right.
He leaves and we have free will, let's say, to our Christian friends out there. They understand that concept. He doesn't encroach on free will. And so I like that respect. So I respect God. I admire God. I'm very loyal and I have deep, deep love for that soul. My love is really kind of a love that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's a love that makes sense. It's not a blind following or maybe a dependent surrender or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a real equal beings recognizing each other. And you could say father child, or you could say, something with parent child, that relationship where the child is looking at the parent's looking at the child. Neither one is greater than the other, but they
Right.
create each other and they support each other and they admire each other and they build each other and they have this relationship. So that's how I feel about God. And this relationship, this recognition and this understanding has supported me to and inspired me to study, to do service, and to spend my life doing this.
Yeah. Right. Being able to be in service of humanity is something that can be done easily if you have a good relationship with God.
Yes.
And I want to repeat, do not have fear. Fear does not help any relationship. And I can guarantee you, he doesn't know how to hate and he doesn't remember your past. He says, it's easy to forgive your past, just don't do it again.
That's good advice, right? It's good advice for your own heart. If you
Yeah.
don't do it again, you'll feel better too,
You'll
right?
feel better too. You'll get a lightness.
Yes.
So I think any relationship, there has to be lightness in a relationship. There has to be a feeling of freedom. You're not on guard or always wondering if, even human relationship, you don't want to be in a relationship like that where you're afraid of the other person, whether they're, same thing with God. You want it to be light and easy,
Look at
and
how
it's possible.
beautiful it can be and how harmonious it can be and how beneficial, mutually beneficial and mutually supportive. And I don't even have a word for it, isn't it? They really maybe eventually there's no word.
Hmm.
We use the word love, we use the word, but it's life, I guess.
Yeah.
Relationships are life. It's how life is lived, isn't it?
Yeah.
So maybe we should stop there.
Yes, we can.
What a
Yeah.
beautiful conversation. Okay. So thank you for being with us. I hope that's given you all something to reflect on your own relationships, your own, we're talking about marriage today, but if you're in a marriage, reflect on that relationship, on the potential of that relationship. And then, of course, the spiritual relationship with
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, relationship is an opportunity for you personally to grow and to be happy. Look at it that way. Okay, then.
Beautiful. Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.